Hi, my name is Samantha Adair from Brigham University. Today we will be discussing pedal playing in detail. I will talk about the basic notation, technique, ways to practice, and tips and tricks for finding your way around the pedal board. At the end of the video, we will walk through the pedaling and techniques you might use for some common hymns. First, I strongly encourage you to get organ shoes, as these will make it much easier for you to use the techniques we're about to discuss. The characteristics of a good organ shoe are explained in video 2. Next, get set up. Make sure the bench is in the correct position for your height, remembering the reference points from video 2. Bench placement is exceptionally important here, as your feet need to be able to move around a lot and reach almost everything while you remain well supported. As we begin to play the pedal keys with our feet, we can use the toe on either foot, but you can also use your heels. That way you can play pedal lines with alternating toes and heels on the same foot, or any combination of these. When you're marking the pedaling in your music, indicate the toes with a caret sign by the bass note you will be playing, and the heels with a small circle or sometimes a U. Placing the mark above the note means you'll be playing it with the right foot, and putting it below the note indicates left foot. Now let's talk about technique. To help you practice, each item I teach will have an exercise in the packet that's linked in the description box below. When you play pedal keys with your toes, use only ankle motion to press them down. Watch that your knees or thighs aren't moving up and down along with your foot. This gives you maximum efficiency and minimizes extra motion. Your knee will move a little when playing with your heel, though. Your knees and feet should stay together as much as possible. Both should be close together with your heels touching when your toes are playing keys up to a fourth apart, for example, between C and F. If one foot is on a black key, keep that heel touching the inside of the arch of your other foot. When your feet are playing keys wider apart than a fourth and up to an octave, the feet can separate, but the knees should still be comfortably together. A good habit to get into is to quickly find the upcoming pedal key as soon as your foot is free, even as your other foot is still playing. We call this prelocating. Often, feet are wider than the pedal keys and can accidentally play two keys at once. How can we solve this? Tipping the foot inward and playing on the inside edge of the foot will make the playing surface narrower and increase the accuracy of your playing. Bottom line here is never play flat-footed. You might tip the foot outward rather than inward, sometimes in the extreme upper or lower ranges of the pedal board, or if the feet are crossing. When playing the natural or white keys, keep the tips of your feet close to the tips of the black keys. Ideally, your bench should be forward enough so that your feet dangle right in this area. When you play the black keys, hitting the sweet spot on your foot is to have the corner of the black key hitting right in the spot where the ball of the foot meets the toe between the first and second toes. This means that you will usually not cover more than half of the black key with your foot. Now, here are a few more ways to find your way around the pedal board without looking. I've already mentioned keeping contact between your heels when the toes span intervals up to a fourth. This helps you feel the intervals of seconds, thirds, and fourths. Likewise, when your knees are reasonably together, you can feel more accurately the larger intervals when your feet are a fifth, sixth, seventh, or an octave apart. Practice with these reference points to get used to how all these intervals feel. When making a small skip, keep your foot lightly in contact with the tops of the keys as it brushes past to help you feel how many other keys have gone by. Once again, practice this without looking. Focus on what it feels like for your foot to glide over the keys. When making a large skip, you can use the arrangement of the black and white keys of the pedal board to help you. Find the wide gaps in between the groups of black keys with your toe. Brush your toe around the groups of black keys to feel whether you are next to a group of 3 or a group of 2. And then you will know the note names of the white keys in that gap, all without looking. You can also feel your way around to the middle of the black key groups to find the rest of the notes. Since there are only 3 octaves in the pedal board with middle C on the top, tenor C in the middle, and low C on the far left, using this method you can learn to find any key you need just by feeling. Sometimes you might just have big or quick jumps in the pedal line. In cases where there isn't time, or if you're not yet comfortable with pedal playing, you can simply look down at your feet to find the key you need. In your practice, though, and especially when you're working on pedal exercises, it's best to keep your eyes up and learn to play the pedals without looking. Once you have all that figured out, here are a few other slightly more involved pedaling techniques that can help you as you plan the pedaling for your hymns. First, crossing a foot in front of or behind the other can make it easier to play the line in some cases. Sometimes the toe just reaches over or under the other foot, or the entire foot may need to cross. In this case, I can either pull my right foot back so the left foot can cross in front, or take the left foot behind the right. Another technique that will take a bit of practice and coordination, but that can be very useful, is a toe glissando. This can be used coming down off of a black key onto a white key, or by rocking from one edge of the foot to the other to play 2 adjacent black keys. When playing from white key to adjacent white key, however, using alternating toes or toe heel pedaling is still much cleaner than a toe glissando. Just like you can substitute fingers, you can also substitute between feet or within each foot to prepare for the next key. This is not as efficient as pedaling more directly, so plan another pedaling if you can. You would mark it in your music like this. Let's put everything together now and see how we might mark and play some pedal lines from the hymn book. playing hymns on the organ, a very common struggle is keeping the left hand and the pedal independent from each other. Spending some extra time practicing just the left hand and pedal together can help you overcome this challenge and master this new way of playing. That's all for this video. Don't forget to go to the packet for exercises to practice, and be sure and check out our next video about advancing your hymn playing.